One of the many questions I get asked a lot by my friends is what is a good budget-friendly bourbon? So I decided to share that with you guys today. Pour yourself a pour, pull up a seat, and let's dive into my personal favorite budget-friendly bourbons. Cheers. Everyone's budget is going to be different, right? I figured $50 would be a good starting point because there's going to be some good stuff under that. But that $50 price range, I think you can get some absolutely great bourbons. So this list is in no particular order. And we're going to start with one of my favorite bourbons. And that's going to be Early Times Bourbon. Early Times Bourbon has been going through a lot of changes recently with Sazerac taking over this company from Brown-Forman, and there's going to be a lot of reviews coming out soon about that new switch. But with Brown-Forman, this bottle right here, complete banger. I think this bottle comes in around $23 to $25, and for that price range, you're getting some great juice, absolutely good stuff. It's going to be dark, rich, a full bite of bourbon, if you will, right? Some leather notes there, and it tastes like it's older than what it could potentially be, right? Absolute banger. If you see it, get it. I actually have to get myself a backup because I am not quite interested in getting the new Sazerac juice yet because I'm hearing there's a lot of changes, but I definitely think this is backup worthy. So that's my first item. The second bottle that I want to talk to you guys about is 1792. Specifically, 1792 Bourbon. I do have about all the releases of 1792. Sweet wheat, cognac finish, 12-year, full proof. But one of the most consistent batches that I've had is Bourbon. Bourbon comes in at around $43, $44. So you can say about $45. And for that price range, absolute banger. With this, you're going to get some banana notes. You're going to get a full, rich flavor. You're going to get a buttery flavor. But also, it's going to have a little spice, the bacon notes. This is going to balance out the sweetness. It's just really good. This is probably one of my favorite 1792 bottles that I do have in my selection right now. But I think it's absolute worth that price range of $45, right? Flavorful, complex, rich. It's just good. It is just good. And coming in next, we're going to talk about a good old trusty dusty. And I don't think you can go wrong with this. Right here we have Buffalo Trace. As the world, everyone at this point knows about Buffalo Trace. The hype is real, right? I think Buffalo Trace is something that's shelf worthy. Always, always, always is going to be on my shelf. My wife loves to mix this with a Coke. Have no problem with that. Super cherry forward, super fruity, smooth, not too much punch. But if you're looking for something that's sweet and fruity coming into bourbon, I think Buffalo Trace is going to get you going, get you started. Is it worth all the hype? We'll talk about that in another video, but I definitely think this is worthy to get you going and worth being in your collection of bourbon, especially for that price range. I want to say that price range here in Virginia is about $28, $29. So yeah, I do have a backup. Like I said, it's definitely worthy of being on the shelf at all times. Can't go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with it. And speaking of can't go wrong with, Wild Turkey, baby. Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey can do no wrong in my eyes. Russell can do no wrong in my eyes. I want to have all of their releases that they put out limited. I want to get some old juice, old dusties. But yeah, Wild Turkey, specifically 101. 101 comes in about $29.99. Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. If you see it, get it. But also, If you see the 70th anniversary 8-year version, get that as well. Under $50, I want to say it's about $44. It's worth it. The 8-year, same thing. They are all worth it. All worth it. That one of my favorite brands. I am a turkey guy through and through. One of my favorite brands. Definitely, definitely, definitely deserves all the hype that they get. But you just can't go wrong with having that on your selection. All right, so we're coming in at 4 right now, and there's a few bottles that I want to talk about that I don't have on my shelf right now, only because I drunk it all. So, needless to say, definitely worth it. One of those bottles is going to be Maker's Mark. I think Maker's Mark is a great entry-level bottle. You can drink it how you want. You can drink it neat. You can mix it with Coke. I know that's typically how a lot of people drink Maker's Mark. And I think it's worth the price. It's definitely worth the price. I think that bottle goes for about $29 as well. But out of my favorite Maker's Mark that's shelf steady, I think the cash strength is by far through and through their best product. When we're talking about consistency, when we're talking about flavor, Maker's Mark cash strength is super underrated. You could throw the Maker's Mark 46 cash strength in there as well. That's the French oak finish. Both of those are amazing. Amazing. If you like that French vanilla flavor, the 46 is just going to be for you. Super good. And we're talking about flavorful bourbons. We're not just talking about one-trick ponies. We're talking about bourbon that's going to have some flavor. You can drink it neat. You can pour it on ice if you want to, and they will stand up to the test. All worth it. Another bottle we're going to talk about that I don't have on my shelf is going to be Old Granddad 114. Old Granddad. Good old Granddaddy, right? I think that's stood the test of time as well. Consistent, flavorful. It's just good. It's really just good. You can drink it neat. You can drink it straight. Now, you're going to have to be able to deal with the proof because it is coming at 114. But to me, it's really good. It's worth it. I think that's definitely something that's worthy of being on your shelf as well. Especially if you have friends coming over. Everyone wants to dive into Old Granddad and let them get that experience. So yeah, definitely worthy of being on your shelf. Both of those bottles, the Maker's Mark, for me, the Maker's Mark cash strength, as well as Old Granddad, I actually have to replace right now. So I would definitely be buying those bottles soon, but beat me to it. You go get your bottle as well because it's damn good. Coming in next, and I think this is a sleeper. Evan Williams. Right here we have the Evan Williams single barrel, which is going to be about $48 SRP. We can also talk about the Evan Williams white label. Yeah, just breathtaking. Just how good they are for how cheap it is, especially the white label. I want to say the white label is like $20, right? That white label is just so good. I had 2 bottles of it. I use it for everything. Drinking. Actually, this past year, my wife and I, we decided to give our family some homemade vanilla. Homemade vanilla we decided to use that Evan Williams white label. Not to disrespect it, but we just feel like it had great flavor and it would stand to the vanilla bean as we extract the vanilla bean flavor out. So vanilla through and through on the palate is super good. It's nice, light drinker. It's not going to burn your chest. But this one right here, the single barrel, that threw me for a loop. I actually had some of my cousins over, and anyone who comes over, I'm going to ask you to do a tasting with me just so I can introduce you to bourbon. And with that, I actually did a fresh crack with him, and I poured him a drink and I poured myself a drink. And I was just doing just to see how he was going to respond. And both of us took a sip and was like, oh, wow, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. I had no idea just how good the single barrels are. So as I get lower on this, I'm definitely another bottle to add to my list of I need to replace it because it's really good. I think this is the 2016 release, which I got last year. So it's about 9 years old when it hit the shelf. Good, through and through. Definitely worth the having. Definitely worth of having. All right, coming in next. we have good old Elijah Craig. Now, Elijah Craig, I think Elijah Craig has a huge hype right now, especially, well, not necessarily as right now, but coming into 2025. The foolproof versions of that just blew people away. Like, you got some good Elijah Craig barrel-proof bourbons, right? But I think people forget about the small batch, especially getting into bourbon, especially as you work your way up to higher proof. I think the small batch is a great way to introduce yourself to Elijah Craig, right? Super sweet vanilla caramel flavors, traditional bourbon flavors, but it's rich and it's good. It's not as dark as the barrel strength in flavor profiles, but it's not too far off. And for the price point is maybe what, $35? I don't think you can beat that. For 1 liter of that for $35, you can't beat that. Not at all. Not at all. Now, this next bottle that we're going to have, that is actually sitting in for another version of this, but that's going to be Benchmark. Now, Benchmark, just like 1792, has a lot of releases. I think I've tried just about all of them. And my personal favorite would be between the single barrel and the foolproof. I'm a little hurt right now because my single barrel, I actually dropped that and that glass broke on me. And of course, when that happened, I stopped seeing it on the shelves here in Virginia. So I am on the lookout to replace that because that was definitely one of my favorite ones. But one thing you're going to see with the foolproof is always going to be compared to George T. Stagg and things of the nature because it has the same batch. It has the same mash bill. So with that, keep that in mind when you're looking for a Benchmark foolproof single barrels. It's Buffalo Trace distillate, so it's going to be good. I just think it's going to be on your personal preference between the bonded single barrel foolproof. For me, it's the single barrel again. But you got options. But I think, especially for the price point goes between $17 to $27. Can't beat that at all. Like, that's super duper budget friendly for a great consistent bourbon. So definitely get your hands on that. And last but not least, coming in, we have Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series High Wheated Bourbon. That's another one that caught me by surprise. For the price point, we know everyone's searching right now for that old Weller antique, right? Everyone's searching for that high and low. And if you can't get your hands on that, why not get your hands on something that's shelf steady, on the shelves? Anytime you're going to go into the store, you're going to find it. And I guarantee you, proof point is just about the same. This comes in at 106. The antique comes in at 107. You're not missing nothing. Flavor is going to stand with it through and through. I think I did a blind with that. And I have some very surprising bottles. This is actually my second one. I think the Maker's Mark's Castrum, as well as this, both stood up the test of time with Old Weller Antique. So if you ask me, absolutely go get it. Now, this is going to be one that's close to our budget of $50. I think this comes in about $48, $49. But again, if you're looking for that Old Weller Antique and you can't find it, it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. So yeah, guys, these are my personal bottles that I think are great budget-friendly bottles, especially when you get started. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Leave a review. What do you think is another good bottle that I may have missed? Right? Share it in the comments. And always, pour and stay full. Y'all have a great day.